Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call hello, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. I send double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Send much peace, love, and salutations to y'all came out there pushing the word of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, sincerity and truth. It's brother Ariala. Yeah, I was watching this video right here. This brother, I guess he used to be in GMS Indianapolis, or maybe he was just visiting or learning with that camp, and basically he had to step back for personal reasons. But when I listened to what the brother had to say, you can see that he made a lot of assumptions, and he moved without counsel. And so this is a good example of, you gotta listen to those who are sent around you to help guide sometimes decision making, because a lot of times we can get in our own head about what a situation is, and then when you talk to someone, it's a whole nother perspective will come out in a way that you might not even thought of. Okay, so I felt like this was a good example to the flock of some mindset. I want to play a little bit of this and talk about it. I'm going to start off with the scripture here in 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter in the NLT. In the 12th verse, it says Paul's final advice. 1 Thessalonians 5:12 says, brothers, dear brothers and sisters, honor those who are your leaders in the Lord's work. They work hard among you and give you spiritual guidance. Show them great respect and wholehearted love because of the work, and live peaceably with each other. Brothers and sisters, we urge you to warn those who are lazy, encourage those who are timid, take tender care of those who are weak, be patient with everyone. And so definitely you can see that this brother here even states that he's shy or timid, and sometimes we go through things in life and you might feel embarrassed or unsure, but we're all going through these things, man. And that's why it's important for you to communicate and talk before you determine yourself to make a decision, and you end up kind of making an assumption because you think it's going to go one way and it'll go a different way. But I'm going to play a little bit of this.
I guess I'm very shy. It's not too manly, I guess, man, But, I need to step up and say something about this, because, the reason why I left GMS, I know brothers probably, they think about it. They probably, probably not thinking about it. They ain't worried about me, or, brothers got their own lives and stuff, but, just for conscience sake, I'd like to apologize to GMS, to you brothers out there, because I didn't want to leave the camp. Okay, and the reason why I had to leave is because I became a single father, and I had a bunch of responsibility. I was unstable, still getting out of that ditch.
Here is pretty much excuses, because both of those reasons are not situations all the time. Whether it's ships, they come and having to deal with life situations, these overcome, but you don't put down the plow because of it. In this video, because it was on his mind, and he feels some type of way, and the only thing you do now is just keep doing work and everything like that, because we all fighting this fight, but you got to count the cost. These are things that are going to happen in life, and especially if you take a hold of this plow, you got to deal with it, right? So this is Luke 14 and 25. And this is also in NLT. It says, a large crowd was following Yahushua. He turned around and said to them, if you want to be my disciple, you must hate everyone else by comparison. Your father, mother, wife, and children, brothers and sisters, yes, even your own life. Otherwise, you cannot be my disciple. If you do not carry your own cross and follow me, you cannot be my disciple. See, you're going to have to put stuff to the side. Now, are you going to abandon your children, and not work and live outside? No. These things have to be talked about and managed. But look what it says in 28. It says, but don't begin until you count the cost. For who would begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there's enough money to finish it? So when you take your hand to the plow and say, hey, I want to be a part of this ministry, your life situations, your family situations, all of these are part of counting the cost to see if you're going to get started, if you can even complete the mission. But how do you go over those things? That's where counsel and talking about, hey, man, I want to come out to the camp. I want to do this. I want to do that. But I got these type of situations going on. I got these type of situations going on, and it needs to be assessed. Brothers come in and, we have brothers driving multiple hours to come to the camp. And they money situations or car situations have to be figured out before they can just say, okay, I can commit to that. Right? This is what I talk to brothers about, being prudent and being mature. We got to grow up. Verse 28 says, don't begin until you count the cost. For who would begin construction of a building without first calculating the cost to see if there's enough money to finish it? Otherwise, you might complete only the foundation before running out of money, and everyone will laugh at you. They would say, there's a person who started that building and couldn't afford to finish it. See? So all of these things that you got going on in life concerning this ministry, you have to count the cost. You have to be mindful, right? Proverbs 24 and 27 says, do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. You got to look into what you got going on and what you're a part of. Okay? And so when I'm listening to this brother, I hear a level of immaturity in the spirit, and that's where counsel comes in. And also, he made a lot of assumptions.
2 weeks, so.
And so, Lucky, you
pay half the rent here and half the rent there. And then you behind the next time, you half and half, and you keep on trying to pick up. It's just a something that I've been going through. There's nobody else's fault but my own.
And so, Lucky, let me real.
And I wish that I could have stayed with the brothers.
Let me re-upload this.
But
because I got this weak internet. Let's see.
All praises, honor, and glory to you.
All right, so let me let that load, but I want to go to another point here. Because all of these things, these situations happen in all the camps pretty much. But then you see, but they don't talk to nobody. They just assume they'll know what the. So in Proverbs 15:22, it says, plans go wrong for lack of advice. Many in every part of your life, man. Within the ministry, within your work, you're making decisions point of view from somebody that's been there longer, somebody that's got more experience. Usually, man. We gotta be, like I said, we gotta be mature about this thing. Consider it, but a strange and proud man is not daunted with fear. Okay? Do nothing with, go not in a way, we're not confident in a plain way. Okay? Okay? Now you have an association with the Akyam. You have, you're excited about this ministry, about this truth, but you let some situations that's going on in the world discourage you from, and all it took was some planning. Like, hey, brother, gotta get, because sometimes we'll have a brother sit to the side till he can fix up some of his life situations, because his life situations is a mess. It's a mess. And you gotta get this, like I said, counting the costs. You gotta get it together. Those things are important. Let me see if this will play.
You pay half the rent here and half the rent there, then you behind the next time, and you half and half, and you keep on trying to pick up. It's just a something that I've been going through.
It's just being demonic.
There's nobody else's fault but my own. And I wish that I could have stayed with the brothers, but I already knew, that it wasn't going to work out for me.
You see what he said?
See, I was so excited about joining the camp.
You see what he said? He said, I already knew that it wasn't going to work out for me. See, it was already in his head, that negative assumption.
That I wasn't thinking about the future. Like, I wasn't thinking about, driving 50 miles here and 50 miles back every other weekend. I wasn't thinking about it like that. I just thought that everything would be good and the Lord would just take care of it. And, the Lord did take care of it, but it's just like I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. I couldn't have that on my conscience, telling those brothers that I was going to make it up there and not. I kept on telling them I was going to make it. I'll be up there, man. I'll be up there Sunday. This time, I'd $20 for gas, man, because I didn't have minutes on my phone because my funds were already allocated. You know, hopefully brothers could understand, like, you know, I was plus.
And you have, all you got to do is counsel and talk about it. And brothers accept money if they want to make it out, you know. Now, like I said, but if he was actually in the camp and he just kind of ghosted everybody, that wasn't cool, you know. But now, you know, you made you do your own thing. If that's the way it went down, I really have not taken on counsel because this brother feeling at ease about his situation. It's like, yeah, bro, figure this out, do this, do that. You know, you're uptight right now. That's fine. Figure it out. And you don't have to go about with this worry that you're thinking the brother's thinking about you negatively, and they not. All you gotta do is counsel, man. Proverbs 11:14 says, "Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety." And safety in your mental, you know, because you over here, man, I can't make it to camp. I don't got money. I gotta take care of my daughter. Damn, you know. But you ain't really communicating with the Akyam and getting guidance on, you know, maybe ways that you can move. And so now you got all this unnecessary worry in your head, man. You know? Ecclesiastes 4:9 says, "Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falleth, for he hath not another to help him up." See? You want to be mindful of that, man. That's why communication, letting brothers know what's going down, is so important. It's not about just telling all your secrets to the brothers, but having an actual game plan and everything like that is key. It's important, you know? So, you know, Salaki. You know, all you know, and doing that is important. You know, so because I'm watching, I'm listening to this brother, and I'm like, well, all you have to do is talk to the Akyam. You didn't have to go AWOL. We get in these tight situations and we feel embarrassed about our situations and we just clam up and we don't talk, and you make rash decisions in the spirit. We have to be mature enough to communicate, especially when we're going through hardships, when we're going through stuff, man. And all of us, you know, in this society, we're not taught to do that as men. But in the scriptures, it tells you to do that. Like I just read all these scriptures where you're instructed to handle things through counsel and talking. Because it didn't really seem like his situation wasn't something that couldn't be understood. You just got to talk and make a game plan. So moving forward, man, you want to move with a little bit more maturity and utilize what you've learned in the scriptures and apply it to your life, man. Okay? Because we all going through stuff, man. So I was watching that. I was like, man, this is a cautionary tale of do nothing without counsel, bro. Get some counsel, bro. Talk to people. Figure out the situation. So I got to get back to the plantation. I could keep going, but I got to get back to work. So with that, once they call hello, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shabbat, Shem Kadash, double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone. Much peace, love, and salutations to y'all came out there pushing the word of Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai, sincerely and true. Shalom.